What's up, guys? I'm Jaden Stevens, and I'm joined with
Dylan Matthews.
Devin Ortega.
Jacob Roden.
and welcome to the All My Friends Are Warriors podcast. So today, before we hop into today's episode, we just like to talk about something for a couple minutes. So, we don't like to virtue signal.
Mhm.
Virtue signaling is one of the biggest things that we should all avoid.
Yeah.
You guys too. And one of our buddies, he decided to choose a different path, and that's okay. We still respect him. We wish him the best. We're praying for him.
Yeah.
But
I hope he gets out of what he's going through.
yeah, and so just to let you guys know, so just in case you guys are like
Wondering,
confused.
because obviously it's a different setup.
Yeah, we got our buddy Dylan Matthews right here. He's been wanting to be on the podcast for a while, and it's great to have him on. You've been in the club of character for like
About 4 years.
about 4 years.
4 years. Been awesome. I wanted to join for a minute now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And today's episode is actually working perfectly with him on, because today's episode we're going to be kind of talking about like wrestling. with Vice.
Yeah.
And he is a wrestler, but I guess one of the questions I could ask you is like, what are some of the biggest vices that you've had to wrestle with? Just it could have been with like actually wrestling or just in life in general.
So with wrestling, a lot of things that I struggle with is like being lazy, because wrestling's a tough sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like getting out of bed, running before school in the
Yeah.
mornings, 5:30, it really sucks.
Yeah.
Cutting weight sucks. I don't cut weight like a lot, but it's pretty
Yeah.
tough when I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so hard about it? Because you have to like dehydrate yourself, not eat as much.
It's eating clean,
Eating clean.
Yeah.
like looking away from junk foods.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
discipline to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
because that stuff's
sucks.
bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eating clean, like lean food,
Mm-hmm.
eggs, chicken, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on like the last day, you just run a bunch, sweat a bunch. Yeah. Use probably like 4 or 5 pounds of practice.
Have you ever had to like? Have you ever
Saunas
been
would
like?
be a cheat code for that.
Have
Can't
you
wait
ever
to do
been
one.
like? Have you ever not made weight like in the morning? You had to like run before. Because I remember telling me, our buddy.
I've made weight every single time.
Okay, because one time he was like, dude, I had to run super early in the morning before we got on the bus ride because I didn't
Mhm.
make weight. I was like, he was like 2 ounces over, and but in wrestling, like everything
it counts,
matters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely, yeah.
What?
If you don't
Why?
make weight,
Why
you
is
can't.
that? Like, if you're 126 pounds, like that's your weight class, but you're 126.5. Like, why is that so important? Like, why can't they just make like 5-pound increment? Like, 125
it's
through
just,
130
like,
is a
set. Like overall throughout the year, they'll have like 1 pound allowances, 2 pound allowances. In
Yeah.
some tough tournaments, they'll have like a 2 pound allowance. So instead of the weight being 126, it'd be 128.
oh,
And then
okay.
the following one would be 134, and then so on and so forth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never done wrestling. It seems pretty fun. If I didn't do basketball, I definitely would have done wrestling.
Yeah. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I might try it out next year.
What weight you wrestling at?
126.
126.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 128 now because of the 2 pound allowance.
Mm.
But I went down to Reno, and then the first day it was 128, and then the following night, because you have to make weight twice.
Yeah. So they're gonna add.
Yeah, they added
Yeah.
like a pound allowance. So then the weight was 129.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was pretty tough.
Speaking of Reno,
Yeah,
you
how
just
was Reno?
went to the tournament, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that. How did that go for you?
I went 2-2. It was my second year of wrestling.
It's not bad.
It was
Pretty good.
pretty tough. I pinned a kid in like the second round, and then I lost to a kid that's been wrestling for a while. Been all over. He pinned me, leg rode, and then yeah, I just kind of went to turnover, and then got pinned, and then second guy I wrestled, I pinned him in like 51 seconds or something, like the first round
Damn.
pin. We
That's
both went
really
to shoot,
good.
and I just pancaked him.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then I lost. I was beating this guy's.
Yeah.
Can I cuss?
I mean, yeah. As long as it's not like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
like
I was
Jackson
beating this
is.
guy's ass. It was like 6-0.
Damn.
And then he was
Let him
riding.
come
He
back
got
like
on
that?
top, and then he got a bunch of near fall. This really sucked.
Dang. Well, 2-2 is not bad. Plus, it's only your second year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
there's
like-
still a lot to learn, and you're on varsity as a sophomore, so
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
that's
It's
something-
also way easier than other sports. Like being on varsity
they
and
have
wrestling.
more room
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
to add
sometimes.
people and move them up.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you like, one thing with wrestling with Vice in actual wrestling, like, do you ever feel like you just want to like kill someone? I feel like that. I mean, you obviously like you want to beat the kid, but like, do they ever like make you so mad to where like you just want to not even wrestle, just like
Absolutely.
throw hands?
Yeah, when someone throws like
'Cause
a crossface, dude, that pisses me off.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like when you're wrestling and people try to go farther than wrestling, it's like, dude, like
Mm-hmm.
there's some rules, and then I feel like that's.
I mean, I guess I get that feeling. You know, when like basketball players try to take stuff too far.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh,
And it's basketball.
dude, it's so. Oh my
A kid
gosh.
like I set a screen on him. He runs into me, falls back a little bit, and then he like tries to go by me and like swing a punch like at my face,
Yeah.
misses, hits like the top of my head. But that just pissed me off.
Yeah.
It's a sport.
And
It's not.
that one time, this last tournament, the Foothill tournament, when that kid,
Yeah, that.
oh my god, that was so stupid. He blocked the ball. I mean, it was a good block, but like,
Shit was in my head over the back.
yeah,
But
and
then
then
it's when you take stuff too far. This
Yeah,
is a sport.
because then you try to act all,
Fighting words are for fighting.
he tried to act all tough. He was like flexing on Devin and like, you just got your shit back. You know, you suck. And I was like, I ran over there and I was like, dude, play football. Like, what is this kid doing? And then when you say that, or like if I said that, which I did, I said you should play football, like get on the football field, and he tried to make it seem like I was stupid, like he tried to make a fool out of me,
No,
and he was really scared. That's really
it
what
took
happens.
It actually took like a lot to kind of hold myself back. I know our coach on the sideline was like, Devin, don't do anything. Don't say anything back. Keep her cool.
Yeah.
And I know their coach had to immediately take that kid out right after he did that.
Yeah.
He was taken out immediately. If
Yeah.
I had done something like back to the kid, I'm getting benched for the rest of the game.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of had to keep my cool and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a sense, wrestle with Vice.
You had to
like,
really
or-
wrestle
yeah,
with.
wrestle
Yeah,
with Vice
yeah.
there. Because I could have easily messed that kid up right then.
Oh
and
my
there.
god, yeah, it would have been a bad day for that kid.
Yeah, but
should-
I had to hold myself back and not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
had to
you're definitely good at that.
Had to
It's-
wrestle with yourself and wrestle with your thoughts, and then keep your cool, like you said, and then not do anything about it.
Yeah. I guess.
And the thing about wrestling with advice, or sorry, not advice, Vice. The thing about wrestling with Vice is sometimes it's really hard because like it's like temptation. Like you feel like you just
Yeah.
want to like take someone out, you know, and you can't because whatever. You can't.
It could be anything too. You could like
Yeah.
with Dylan cutting weight, he sees junk food and he's like, "That looks good."
Yeah.
you
He just
know?
wants
but
to.
he has
he
to
just wants
cut
to destroy
weight.
it. But no, he has to make weight.
Big thing like cutting weight. I'm looking at liquids.
Yeah.
Like water, nothing
Water.
sweet. Like at most, like you know those like blackberry hinted waters.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, I crave those every time I'm cutting weight. It's not even the food. After you get the water, like that satisfaction of being hydrated, at that point it's just food. But
Yeah.
Wait, so does the blackberry water, like if it's like kind of scented, flavored, but not really flavored at the same time, does it add calorie? Or no, I guess
No.
it wouldn't.
no, it
So
doesn't
is
add
it
any
you'd be
additional weight.
able to? It'd be clean. I guess.
Yeah.
It just add water weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's
Go
what's
on.
no, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go on.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the most like weight you've ever had to cut? Like
I was 7 pounds over the night before,
big boy.
and then
The night before.
the night before, and I skipped 5th and 6th period, and then I ran
Ag.
down to the gym, and then I cut like 3 pounds, I think, there, and then I went to practice that day. I ran back to Shasta High School, and then I cut practice, I think, like 4 pounds at practice. I put on like 3 sweatpants, like
Couple sweatshirts.
two hoodies, one of those like thermal long sleeves, and then a shirt,
Dang.
and then I put like my socks over my sweats. It was pretty tough. And then I slept overnight. I had like a little bit of water and like a little bit of like a protein bar. You have to eat throughout cutting weight,
Yeah.
but not like a lot.
Yeah, you just
Right.
have to eat clean. So you
Yeah.
don't-
Because you
then-
need that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overnight, it's called floating. Your body naturally burns energy,
Really?
and then you lose
Yeah,
weight
I've seen
throughout
stuff
the
about
night.
that.
Yeah, and then I woke up the morning of, and then I ran a little bit, and then on the way down to the tournament, it was in Orland. It was like an hour drive, whatnot. The heater was like cranked up, a hoodie on, sweatpants. Sucked. And then I got there, and then I would run a little bit, and then I made weight.
Really?
Like it sucked. But yeah.
7 pounds in a day and night.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Dang. That's commitment right there. That's I don't know if I could do all that.
That's discipline. That's one where you are wrestling with Vice right there, because it'd be so easy to say, nah, I'm just not gonna make weight this tournament and skip a tournament.
Right.
But no, you stuck to it. You lost 7 pounds in a day.
Yeah.
Made
that's,
weight.
That's crazy. I would not be able to do that. 7 pounds in one day. Well, I mean, like, come on. But still, like, that's hard.
Yo, I couldn't do that.
I mean,
always,
I wouldn't
I'm
even.
always tell myself I'm a cut weight. I'm a cut weight for basketball.
I wouldn't with the amount of
Can't do that.
with
Look at Candy.
with how much I sweat. I
It's
wouldn't.
bad.
I wouldn't even need to like put on sweatpants or hoodies. I would just.
Yeah.
I just sweat so bad, and I would lose weight by just playing basketball or I don't know, just running. I don't know.
Once
But
you get that sweat going, it's really easy to carry on and like keep the sweat.
yeah,
Yeah, you just have to
'Cause-
get it going and then just keep drilling. You don't have to drill like super hard, but like you could be hardly working, but as long as you're working and staying active.
yeah.
Have you ever been like super nervous before a wrestling match or a tournament?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna ask, how do you feel, on average? How do you feel between most wrestling matches? Is it just nervous, anxious? Like, what is your most often feeling before a wrestling match?
Excited.
Excited?
Excited.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, because from like coming from a lot of football games, I get like pumped up and hyped before a football game. I was
Yeah.
wondering, is that the same for wrestling?
Absolutely. Like it'll be like you're up in 2 matches. You throw your headphones on and then like your hoodie or whatever, and you're just like getting warm before you wrestle, and then next thing you know it, you're up. You give your coach all your clothes, whatever. You go out there and you just wrestle your hardest. It's awesome.
Is it like that same feeling in football? I don't know if you've ever had it, but like like you're pumped, but you're also kind of nervous. But as soon as you like get that first sense of contact, are you like locked in,
Absolutely.
and you're
Yeah.
like
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
going after it?
Yeah.
You're clubbing people off the whistle, and I'm feeling it out, and it's
Yeah. I feel
the
like
nerves drop way down.
getting that first like bit of contact at the beginning of either a football game or a wrestling match or just a fighting match, that's all you need, and then you're locked in.
Yeah, like releases the butterflies in your stomach almost.
Yeah. I mean, me with football, I get locked in like in a locker room, have my headphones on, getting ready. I read the Bible, and I'm just so locked in. And I go out on the field, and I'm just like, I think confidently, I'm the baddest out here. Like no one's gonna mess with my shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking in my mind. And then we do the national anthem, and I'm thanking God like for allowing me to be here, to play this game. And I just go out there and I just try my hardest, and I just hit as hard as I can, and make make smart decisions on the field. And in fights too, like I just get locked in, and I'm like, I mean, before every fight, it could even be someone who's pretty like smaller than me, but I'm still gonna have that little bit of, not scared, but like nervous.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I'm
mean,
like-
always. It's like a repeat. Like you feel it every time you
Yeah,
before you do something.
Exactly.
Naturally, it's just like,
Even like the best fighters, like Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor,
oh yeah, I'm
Like,
sure.
like those guys, they still get nervous before every fight.
Yeah.
I mean, one, because it's the UFC. That's the freaking best of the best. So like, they kind of have a reason to be scared, but it's not even that. Even if they
Yeah.
weren't in the UFC, it's just
Yeah.
that's just how fighting works.
I feel like you're just gonna naturally have that feeling, but then you're gonna have to be virtuous and overcome that, and still continue on with whatever you're gonna do.
You put that poker face on and don't let your opponent see that you're nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do that, and they from what they just view, if you have that poker face on, they just see that you're confident, that
Yeah.
you're not nervous, and
Yeah.
then that's gonna strike fear into them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, but when you do get knocked down, that's another thing with wrestling with Vice. Like, you're going to want to stay down and just act like you're hurt and look for some type of,
Way to like a cop out.
Yeah.
Get out.
but that's when you got to be like, no, like, I got to get up. Like, this one time I was telling Dylan this earlier, when we were at varsity for football practice.
Mhm.
Remember that one time when I was a wing and I ran like a streak?
Oh yeah.
And the quarterback threw it, and it was out of my reach. I put my hand up, and I jump as high as I could, and it's just barely it hits my fingertips, and then I get laid out by their starting safety, absolutely laid out. And right when I hit the ground, I instantly popped back up, and I was up, and I was running back to the huddle, because I was like, and it did knock the air out of me pretty good. Like it wasn't a weak hit, that's for sure, but I was like, it's why would I just stay on the ground? Like, the coaches are gonna look at me and they're gonna be like, oh, I don't want this kid on
Yeah.
varsity, because
Yeah.
that was back when I was trying to go for varsity.
And
Yeah.
not even coaches, it's just player. If a player's going to smack you like that and then you're going to stay down, why wouldn't he just go right back at you?
He's gonna
Yeah.
keep
And then, but
targeting
if you just get right back up, I feel like that would probably strike a little bit of fear into the person if they just hit you
Yeah.
as hard as they could and you just popped right back up.
Yeah, and I bet that I earned some type of respect from that varsity or
Mhm.
from that senior's safety. Like, there had to have been a little bit of like, oh, that kid's a freaking freshman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He plays quarterback and he just got laid out.
Mhm.
And he just got straight back up.
Yeah, you're always gonna be posed with those like two options in life, like getting, as like it was Rocky. He says it doesn't matter, but like how hard you can get hit or how hard you can hit. It matters about how hard you can get hit and then keep going forward.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's just how life is.
yeah,
Life's always gonna knock you down, but you're
Exactly.
gonna have to just keep getting up.
Right.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's if you get up each time.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just life.
You can. It's good to be able to hit hard, but that doesn't matter if you can't get up from a hard hit. That
Yeah,
means you
exactly.
can't take the medicine
Yeah,
that you give.
you have to have some
Yeah.
temperance to where you're able to get back up if you do get hit really hard, but not be able to hit hard and then not get up.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a great example of wrestling with Vice because that's two options.
Mhm.
Dylan, I was gonna ask you, like, what have been some times when you have gotten taken down in wrestling or like pinned, and you felt like you just wanted to lay there, but then how did you go about it?
My coach promotes a lot of wrestling through the entire match. Like, that's one of the things that he really promotes. And so even if you're down 7, try to get a takedown at the end of the match. And then, so I was like, one of my matches, I was down by like 10.
Yeah,
I was getting it handed to me. I was on bottom, and then my coach was like, "Get up, get up." So I got up, and then it was 10-1, and then I took him down, and I actually pinned him. There was like maybe like 10 seconds left. Stuck him. Yeah, it was awesome.
wait, so if you get a pin, you automatically
Yeah,
win the
so-
match, right?
Yeah,
Dang, so you were down 10-1,
yeah. I was losing pretty bad,
and you got a pin?
yeah, it was,
That's crazy. Was that this year?
that was last year.
Last year?
Yeah,
Dang.
Yeah, I like that mindset that your coach has where you just keep going even if you're down. I mean, I've always like thought that way in like basketball or football games.
Mm.
Like my whole like AAU season, like last year, we would always lose these games, but I would keep pushing it to like the very end. So even when we were losing every single game, I'm like trying to get my team upbeat. They're all kind of like beat up. They don't want to keep playing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, let's keep going. And a couple of them, we've almost like came back and won.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was a tough season, but I know a couple of those games I was able to bring us back in the last moments. Because that other team, they're like, oh, we've already won. We're not going to keep trying. But I'm like, nah, it's not over. It's
Yeah.
not over till I say it's over.
Yeah.
And that's really achieving that. The Seabass talks about it all the time, that secondary victory of not giving up.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get that victory on the scoreboard, you're still, in your heart, you're going to be content. You're going to feel good
Mhm.
because you're not just going to lay down and give up and go limp.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Go ahead.
that's what differentiates a lot of people from a warrior and an athlete is because if you have that mindset of, oh, I may be down 10-1, but I'm still going to give it my all, and then maybe I lose, maybe I win, but I'm not going down without a fight. Because you might have lost that still, maybe 10-2, but death before dishonor, you're still going to go out there on your shield. You're still going to give it your best effort until the match is finally over.
Yeah, you either come back with your shield or on it.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, last month, was it last month when we got that buzzer beater against West Valley?
Yeah,
We
that
were
was,
we were
was that
down
was-
2
yeah,
points, 3.9 seconds left in the game, or we were down 1 point,
1 point.
3.9 seconds left in the game. They were inbounding the ball, so all they had to do was catch the ball,
Just hold it. For
just
that
hold it for a couple
3
seconds, and then we were super pumped up. Like we were like, let's do this. We can freaking win this. And this was against West Valley, and they had beat us the time before they played us earlier in that week. This was Friday. And so 3.9 seconds left in the game. They lob it up in the air, and player on our team, he hits the ball out of the kid's hands when the kid catches it, dribbles the ball and
He
puts
has
it
a
up.
whole half court to go.
Yeah,
and-
whole half court, and he freaking Euro steps from like the 3-point line, and he puts the ball in, and he freaking wins the game. And we go crazy, or
Yeah,
we went
were
crazy.
hyped after that.
Oh my gosh, we were so excited that we beat that team because we
Yeah,
wanted to beat
and-
that team so bad.
Imagine if we just laid over, belly up, and just gave up.
Yeah,
Mhm. And then,
Would have been completely different.
yeah,
and there's still a chance that you do lose that game, but how much more virtuous is it if you at least try to win that game instead of just letting it take out of your hands and then just, they already won. There's only 3 seconds left.
Exactly.
I feel like whether you did lose or win, I feel like that's way better of a way to approach it than just let them have it.
Yeah, because you're really never guaranteed, even if you do try 100%. Because
Mhm.
nothing is guaranteed in life.
Hmm.
But you're still gonna. Why wouldn't you put forth 100% effort
Definitely.
yeah.
to have the best possible chance?
Yeah.
I think something that all athletes should have, or all fighters should have, is that mentality where it's like, either I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna beat you
Yeah.
Mhm.
until the actual match is over, and then sure you might lose, but have that mentality. Like when I think of like football and like the game is over, it's like I don't really think the actual game is over. Like, and I'll explain. Like if I get beat by a team 40-0, and I feel like they think that they have something over me, like just me as an individual, I'll be like, no, like you beat a team. A team is a team sport. You can't win a game with just yourself.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's like if they think they have something over you, then you kind of get that feeling in your mind. It's like you get that fighting feeling that you just feel like, oh, meet me after the game, let's fight. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever felt that, like after you lose a game, they think they have something over you.
Mhm.
Like, have you guys ever felt like, oh, like I'll beat you in a fight? I feel like we've all had that.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think most athletes have that.
Well, that's
and-
because fighting is like the most real
Yeah.
life example of what would happen.
Yeah, and
I know
don't
sports
don't
is
ever do it.
sport.
Don't
Yeah,
ever
no,
actually
don't
fight
do
someone
it,
after
but-
a game. Like that's
Hey, meet me in the
horrible.
parking lot.
Yeah, don't ever meet anyone in the parking lot. That's absolutely horrible. But just because you lose a sports or a sport game or a game or a match, like a wrestling match,
Mhm.
doesn't mean that you would lose to them in an actual
Yeah.
life or death situation.
And you shouldn't let it like bring you down either.
Yeah,
'Cause that's another opportunity where you could just give up because I got beat.
yeah. Because it's a
Can't.
game with rules. There's rules, and you
Yeah.
can't break those rules, or else you'll get a penalty or a foul.
Yeah, like you said, with like losing 40-0, I like to think of it as if there was 10 more minutes, we would have won, or if there was
Yeah.
more time, we would have won. I like to think of it as maybe we got blown up by 60, or maybe we lost by 4 points.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as if there was more time, we would have won that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm not giving up. You're
Uh-huh.
not giving up. Jaden, Dylan, they're not giving up.
Yeah. Seabass has taught us we either win or we run out of time, and the only way we lose is if we give up.
beat ourselves.
Yeah,
and if we give up and
Yeah.
stop trying.
But if we're losing by 40, but we're out there, we're trying our hardest, we're trying to catch, or we're going for that catch, we're going for that shot, and we miss it, but we're still, like upbeat and stuff, and we're still trying our hardest. Then we just ran out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We didn't lose, even though we lost on the scoreboard.
we didn't lose in our hearts because we didn't give up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Has
So,
there,
go ahead.
speaking of like that type of moment, has there ever been like a moment like that in your wrestling experience?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just keep trying even after.
Well, I
You're
guess
down
yeah,
by,
that
like,
match where you were down.
Yeah, and it's almost
10-1.
happened to me. Like I'll stop wrestling, not completely, but I'll just kind of like.
Yeah, where
Oh,
you,
there's
you
10
get kind of
seconds left, this guy's
lackadaisical.
not- Yeah.
Yeah, and you just stop like trying. I know that was one of our big things. But our second 14U season in football, when we were 4-0 to start the season, and we were like, "Hey, nothing can stop us now."
Absolutely.
We got kind of complacent. We got to the top of the hill, and we didn't keep striving for greatness. So, the next game we played, we get blown out.
Blown out, yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
it kind of just like ruins. I mean, when we first lost to Las Plumas, that was our first loss of the season, because we thought we were hot stuff until we actually played a team that was worth a shit.
Yeah,
That team was really good, but we also shot ourselves in the foot a good amount.
yeah, we really got kind of lackadaisical. That's why even when you are the person in the winning position, you shouldn't stop either, because there's always going to be somebody hungrier than you. There's always going to be
Yeah.
somebody that's going to be trying harder than you, even if they're down.
Yeah, even if you think you're the freaking hungriest person in the room, there's always going to be someone that's going to want it more than you. And it always takes a loss for you to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Think about your little brother.
Oh my gosh. Well, so yeah.
mean,
Don't get complacent and
Don't get complacent, yeah. Another thing about wrestling with Vice, we got this book by Jordan Peterson, We Who Wrestle with God. We haven't read this one yet, but I think we're going to probably read it as a group pretty soon.
Is this another copy of it?
It's a workwork that came with it.
Oh, nice.
What
So I think it's like, maybe like puzzles or like questions about like philosophy.
Oh,
or-
you answer it. Look it. So like
Oh, is there like questions in there that you answer?
look it.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, have there been times when a difficult choice tested your values of faith?
Oh, okay.
What did you learn from the experience? Yo, this book is actually really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
mean,
I bet
'cause-
it's gonna talk about it a lot in there, and then after you read that book, then you go in this book and you start answering things.
Mhm.
That's really cool.
I mean, because that's wrestling with God. It's
Or you can even
questioning
just-
that faith, but you're still gonna have that belief
Mm-hmm.
in God. You know.
or you can
Yeah.
even
Not-
just go in here, maybe without even reading that book. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still good to read that book.
Yeah, does that relate to life?
Well,
Yeah.
Like to your personal experiences?
Well, let me read this one. How do themes like rebellion, sacrifice, or triumph resonate with your personal experiences?
Oh, so there's my answer. Yeah.
No, but this is really cool. I did not know about this. I might have
Mm-hmm.
to. I might buy this myself. This is actually really cool. We who wrestle with God. That's
yeah,
kinda cool.
that's all. I mean, wrestling with God, you're wrestling with you're questioning your faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know if it's 100% true or not, but that's where belief comes in.
Mm-hmm.
People always say like, "I believe in this." That means it's true. No, you believe in it. That means there's a possibility. Like you, with your heart, think
Yeah.
it's true, but there's still a possibility that it's
Yeah.
not true.
Exactly.
And that's where wrestling with God, you're wrestling with the idea of God might
Might not.
full-heartedly believe that he's real, but
He might not
he
actually.
might not really be real, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the thing with like believing, like what you were saying. Like it could be not true, and if it's not true,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that's where
So that's
faith,
that's where faith comes in.
And wrestling with God it's like all factors. It's like temptation or doing the right thing when no one's watching. Relates to character a lot.
I mean, yeah,
Lunch.
because it's deciding to follow those vices or you stick by your faith and you keep believing. and follow the virtue rather than taking the path of vice.
Yeah.
Because you're always, when there's vice, it's always this crossroad, this fork in the road where you have to choose: do I want to be virtuous, or do I want to do I want to crumble and fold and go to this vice? And
A great
It's-
example of that. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say you should always strive for the virtue,
Mhm.
and even if you do, because there's always gonna be pitfalls, and you're always gonna mess up sometimes, and you're always gonna maybe not always, but you're gonna sometimes choose that vice side, and I mean you might not even like it, but it might just happen. There's temptation sometimes, but you can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on your journey. You have to keep going forward and continue to strive for that virtuousness.
Mhm.
But as you were saying,
Yeah, someone who's like a great example of this is Job from the Bible. Like he had faith in God, and God put him through all these struggles, and then he kept true to God, and he kept asking him, "Why have you forsaken me?"
why
Yes.
do you put me through these things?
Mhm.
type
Absolutely,
of-
yeah. And then in the end, spoiler alert, God gave him twice as much as he had before. He killed like all of his cattle and stuff, but the devil was just saying, "You're only true to God because He gives you all these blessings, like a beautiful wife, multiple kids, cattle."
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's a great example of we who wrestle with God.
Mhm.
Yeah, because God's gonna put you through these hardships to really test your faith with Him. That's you stick by your faith and you keep believing. Good things will come.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of like exactly what you just said, I was just in this book, and Zane, can we link this in this pod description? Because this is a really good book, and I think a lot of people would like to have it. But it says, "What role does patience and trust play when you encounter delays or obstacles in pursuing your goals?"
Yeah,
That kind of goes with what you were just saying.
yeah,
Wait.
because even when you do have these roadblocks, being patient and trusting in your faith and your belief, good things will come eventually. You
Yeah.
just gotta keep pushing forward.
Yeah, patience. You have to have patience with God, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, why do all these bad things happen?" And it's just God's love.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not easy. It's tough.
Yeah,
Good things
and
take time. I know, but I know probably most of you guys have heard that.
yeah, and then like with putting your faith in God, if it wasn't hard, if it was so easy, why wouldn't everyone do it? So God is going to put you through all these things to see if you're actually
If
putting
you
your faith
really
into Him.
believe.
Exactly.
Because if He didn't do all these things and put you through all these stuff, why wouldn't everyone just believe in God and put their faith into Him?
Mm.
It's because there has to be some
Test.
some test to
that
see if
really
you
shows.
to see if you're going to
Yeah.
really put your faith into Him and if
Mhm.
you actually are a real believer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see a whole bunch of people all the time. They put like these verses in their bios,
Mhm.
and you can like sniff that out. You like see how fake it is, because then you see who the person actually is.
Dude, yeah, especially when you know
there's-
the person and it's so bull
Yeah,
crap.
it's virtue signaling.
Yeah.
it's not good.
Yeah. And they don't even care. They're just doing whatever, and it's like the people who actually believe in that stuff and the people who actually want to pursue those verses are like, "Dude, this guy's not even like, this guy's a fake. This guy's a
Yeah.
faker. He's a sinner. He's a freaking, I don't know, but
He's
Mhm.
lying. It's
Yeah.
not true. It's not real.
yeah." And I mean, at least for me, I kind of get a little not mad, because like I'm not in control of them, but it's like
But it's still like
I
what
feel
the
bad.
hell,
I
man?
feel bad for
You start to kind of feel bad for them and pity them.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because they don't.
Well, I just feel bad for like God Himself, because He made those verses and people are saying they're doing that,
Mhm.
and then it just kind of goes to crap. And like if you made a saying, like you made an awesome saying, and it had a verse, like I said, it was like Devin 120, and people started putting that in your bio, and they started not going about that. You'd kind of be like, dude, get this out of your bio. Like,
Yeah,
this
'cause
is
they're
my
not
saying.
about that life.
Yeah, you have to think of it as like yeah, like you were saying, if you were to create your own verse or your own quote or something like that, and it was something about, virtue and character, but then all these people of vice and all these people of bad things start putting in their bio, you'd be like,
Well,
why are they
now
doing that? Like, that's
yeah,
not,
they're
like,
representing you poorly.
yeah.
Mhm.
Then people who do that with verses from the Bible are representing God poorly.
And
Yeah.
you see that all the time. So like, you kind of think, yeah, you kind of do feel for them a little bit because of all the people. There's so many people who have Bible verses in their bio, but don't actually believe in that and don't actually, pursue and all those things that they put in their bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you gotta practice what you preach, especially if you haven't posted it in your public profile. Then it's like, then you kind of have to do it even more,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because if you don't, then people are, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fa-
false advertisement.
False advertisement, virtue signaling, it's all not good. Don't, like, that's vice.
Yeah,
Wrestle with it and then, beat it and then don't do it.
you got to pin
Or
the
if
vice.
you,
You got to
pin vice.
pin the vice.
And if you do put it in your bio, wrestle with it and then, do what you say you're about,
Yeah, like if
Yeah.
vice is up 10 on you, it doesn't mean,
It doesn't mean you give up. You
you
pin
pin
it in the
them.
last 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
Do you have any more stories about wrestling that are similar to that or just
Just anything in life.
I
Fascinating.
actually have a question. So, coming from wrestling, you've only been doing it for 2 years. How does wrestling relate to your life? Has it helped you out a lot in life?
Oh, work ethic.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Definitely work
Okay.
ethic.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's a
feel
tough
like-
sport. I played football and they're both very difficult,
Uh-huh.
but they're difficult in like different ways.
there?
Mm.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll have morning practices for
Mhm.
school, and that
Really?
really sucks. Yeah,
Mm.
Do you get to shower after?
yeah. There's showers in the locker room, of course.
Yeah.
But those mats get dirty or whatever.
Yeah.
But and then what you were saying is like, has it related in my life? Absolutely. There's been times where I've wanted to give up mid wrestling match because it was double overtime, and it was 10 to, or it was, I think it was 7 to 10. It was like 15 seconds on the clock. Off the whistle, I double legged this guy, took him down, so it's 10 to 10. And then I chose bottom, and then I got away, and then we went out of bounds or something, and there was another coin flip, and then he went down, and I just rode him out for the rest of the time. But I was so tired during that situation; it was horrible.
Yeah,
Mm.
because that like the discipline and the hard work,
Yeah.
it's not easy. I'm sure it's definitely one of the more rough sports where you're like, I don't want to continue,
Yeah, and then
and
It's
I can see how that would relate to life.
mhm.
You apply those same virtues of not giving up in
Yeah.
life and don't let it stop
And-
you, and you keep going.
Yeah, it's very easy to say you practice discipline, you practice, life philosophies, you practice all this, but when you actually get tested, it's so hard to actually, continue through with all those things that you actually say you believe in and you practice and pursue. So it's like kind of a test when that does happen to see if you really are about what you preach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Dylan, do you notice any big differences with like maybe different vices between football and wrestling, or is it a lot of the stuff like the same? Like I'm guessing like which one do you
the end of
enjoy
the-
more? I'm guessing
I
wrestling.
definitely enjoy wrestling more.
Yeah.
Although I personally think it's harder.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of like the biggest differences between on how it's harder or how the vices why there might be some different vices between football and wrestling?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I mean, at the end of the
Well,
day, they
like-
both take a lot of discipline and hard work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were saying earlier, you could just give up. Like I was pinning this guy, and he just laid there. After I rolled him over, and he gave up. So we got the pin, whatever. But at the end of the day, they're both very tough sports
Yeah.
and require a lot of discipline.
Yeah, I would see why you think that wrestling might be a harder sport because it's closer to fighting, and also you're not relying on other teammates too.
It's all
It's
on
it's,
you.
it's all on
Yeah.
you. Like there's no one
I love that aspect.
that you can
Yeah,
blame.
'cause we
And
know your team.
yeah, yeah, we know your football team, bud. Anyways, yeah. So 0-10.
Hey,
It's
Cut that
okay.
out,
Nine-
Zane.
Hey, wait.
No, we're not
It's
gonna
okay.
cut that
Do you
out.
know what my record
09
was?
No, 09-1.
Oh yeah, you guys tied. What? Yeah, you know
I'm
what?
just kidding.
It's okay. I went 1-8.
Hey, don't worry. We tied a JV team too.
Yeah,
As a
that we
freshman
should have
team.
won.
Yeah, no, we should have won that game.
I remember at the very end when I rolled out to my
Jaden had
left
to
on
throw
the
two
very on the
interceptions.
very last play
Oh,
of the
and
Two
game.
interceptions.
The worst ball ever.
That
And
was
then he
what
actually
that was what I
intercept
was
that
meant
one.
for. That's the quarterback. The
Oh,
quarterback
yeah,
that
and
I
then
meant
off
for
the
is for
back foot.
freaking launching it last play of the
Off
game.
the back foot.
I throw the most duck ball I've ever.
I'm surprised he didn't
Steve
pick
asked
you.
came up to me, and he was like, "Hey, I got the other quarterback starting next week." And I was like, "Dude, oh my gosh."
Because the ball didn't even come out like it was like spiraling this way. And, like,
Yeah, because we had put August there, and
Yeah,
he
at
he
slot.
ran. There was a safety in a corner, and he had ran through the two, and he was gaining space, and oh my gosh,
Threw a dot.
the worst
It was
ball
bad.
to exist.
It
And
was-
that was the one ball that didn't get picked off either.
Yeah.
Ironically,
yeah.
the two like pretty good balls that were given
Yeah.
to different receivers.
Oh yeah. Speaking of wrestling with advice, that game. Oh my gosh,
that game was so back and forth.
I know.
Both teams could have given up so quick.
Yeah,
Just as soon as momentum just kept shifting back and forth.
yeah.
Mhm.
I would say that winners game when we played that JV team when I had a couple interceptions, that was probably the biggest game I had to wrestle with advice because
Advice or vice?
oh my gosh, with Vice. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because we scored on our second drive, and I
Yeah,
was
we-
doing pretty
we
good.
Were coming out,
we
we were coming out swinging. We
we-
had the momentum
yeah.
so much. In
We
the first
opened
half.
up with a pass, and I made the pass, and I was feeling it.
Head top the kid.
Yeah, I threw a head top ball to Devin. It was pretty good ball, but even better catch because the guy had his hands like this, and Devin put his hands in front of his body.
That was our quarterback too.
That was our quarterback. He was mad after that. He punched the ground so mad he was
He
screaming.
said he didn't catch that ball. Damn shit! I caught that ball
Yeah.
on your head.
Yeah, and so I was feeling myself. I was doing pretty good, and we were in our own red zone, probably about at the 15-yard line. I throw a slant, and I throw the slant because the guy got onto the other flat route. I was gonna throw the flat route because in film I was paying attention. The flat route was gonna be open, but then I heard that kid saying, "Hey, I'm on, right? I'm on." I was like, "Okay, so the slant's gonna be right there. I can just hit it in the perfect spot." And it was I would say it was the right decision. It was the right guy to throw to, but it wasn't right here in his chest. It was right here. So it was still like a good ball. It was still a catchable ball.
Yeah.
And it just got perfectly tipped by the corner, and the
Yeah,
guy
good
got the
offense, good
interception in the end
defense.
zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, here's my first interception. This is adversity. Like I gotta, wrestle with this vice. And I jogged off the field. I kept my head up, and I was thinking about the play and like what I could have done better about it.
Yeah. Then it happened again.
Yeah, but this was like
This
was more.
on the.
Well, I'm always gonna like take the blame and stuff, but I love this kid who dropped this pass and like tipped it and stuff, but yeah, it was kind of the same situation. I rolled out to my right, and I threw the ball perfectly in his hands, tipped out, interception. Same exact spot, same exact place on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another interception. So I
Yeah.
jog off the field again. I have 2 interceptions, and I mean, I'm not using this as an excuse, but people can be like, "Oh, it was a JV team," but still, it wasn't a good JV team.
Yeah.
Like, it.
I mean, they were all right.
they-
I
they
think
were
we
good.
were a really good freshman team as well.
Yeah,
Because that team had playmakers. They
Yeah.
had good running backs, good receivers,
some freaking good linebackers.
a good quarterback, a good line and linebackers.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, it was a pretty good JV team.
Yeah.
They're not crazy good, but
Yeah.
they're not bad.
There were some
either.
good ball players.
Yeah.
But I remember one time we had ran a quarterback keep play,
No,
and
Kill in
oh
the
my
backfield.
gosh. Well, I got to like the line of scrimmage, but I got
Maybe.
laid out. I have a video of it. You can hear the hit from the sidelines on a video.
Dang.
It was bad. And even my grandpa was like, "Ooh,
Ooh, yeah.
ooh, that was
Yeah.
Oh my god, the
Um,
opening kickoff, I kind of got rocked by like a lineman
yeah."
or
It was
linebacker.
it was number 52. That
Was he their middle backer?
Yeah, their middle backer.
Yeah, he
Either
rocked
that or
me.
his strong. That he was definitely a sophomore. There's no way he wasn't
Sophomore or junior. God.
sophomore. Yeah,
He was
something like
big.
that. Yeah, he was big. He was a big boy. But yeah, that was for both Devin and I. That was definitely a game that we had to wrestle with Vice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a hard game.
we had some
but
adversity
We
in that
didn't
game.
stop. We didn't give up. We kept going forward. And if there was an overtime, I feel like we would have had them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, for
And-
sure.
Yeah, you have to really wrestle with Vice because as a quarterback to throw an interception, it's so easy to flip out
Oh yeah.
and blame your receiver and all that. There's so many excuses you can make. Oh, this guy got past my line. Oh, my receiver dropped it. There's so many excuses, but then to actually like kind of take the blame,
yeah.
and as a quarterback, it's actually something that you need to learn as a quarterback because like kind of a really important thing just in like football and life in general, or say you're a running back and then the linebacker field and then you're pulling guard and take out the linebacker or whatever it may be. You still have to kind of take the blame, and you can't just blame any other person than yourself.
Yeah. You have to be a leader and you have to be a captain. And
I mean, Jacob and I were both of us are quarterbacks, and I would say that quarterbacks, they have the potential to make the most excuses out of all the other positions because they can blame, no yards gained because they're running back, or they can blame that they got sacked because their line, or they can blame that their receivers didn't catch it because they just dropped it. But quarterbacks, they're also supposed to be like the team. Are you good,
what's going on off screen?
Jackson?
I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
Lock in.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
In and out. In the nose, out the mouth. Okay.
All right.
Anyways, so yeah, quarterbacks definitely have to be the most
You have to be a leader and a captain.
yeah,
Because, they have all these opportunities to put the blame on other people, but in the end, you see good quarterbacks, successful quarterbacks say, nah, that was on me.
yeah,
I can do better on this.
Yeah. And that doesn't give an excuse for like running backs or receivers that they can just get as mad as they want and then just go to
It
their
was Jaden's
quarterback.
fault.
But
I fumbled because
it's up to the quarterback to like kind of like keep them in a good mindset.
Yeah.
And but I'm a quarterback, but I also play linebacker. So it's kind of kind of tough for me because like if I throw an interception or I like miss a pass and I turn the ball over, I kind of let myself get mad only because I play linebacker and I
so
can
you're
just go.
telling me you threw those picks on purpose?
No, because I wasn't playing linebacker back then.
You weren't?
No, that was back in Armani was
True.
doing.
You didn't get
I
you
didn't
didn't get to be both linebackers together till later on in the season.
to Orland.
Till Orland.
Yeah. And so for me as a quarterback, because I play linebacker too, I kind of
Let it
transition that
put fuel to the fire.
Yeah,
Add
I-
fuel to the fire.
if I mess something up on offense, I just I turn it into like fire for defense so I can just go, smack someone, but also like be smart. So it's kind of nice for me because I can just go take my anger out on defense.
Yeah.
As long as I'm still making the the right reads and filling the right gap.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice to have that as a two-way player because I can just use that anger for defense because I have been a quarterback that didn't play on defense. I have been that before, and you're just on the sideline and you're just thinking about that play, and you might not get that play out of your mind until the next drive. So
Yeah. I don't touch the sideline.
yeah, I didn't touch the
Actually,
sideline.
I do. When I do like 85-yard rushing touchdowns,
Yeah,
take a quick breather.
yeah,
Yo, you know what we need? An oxygen tank sometimes. That would be nice. Like what the NFL linemen get after like a defensive lineman makes a crazy chase down.
And they put a freaking. They get
Yeah,
subbed
they
out. And
get
they
the
put
oxygen.
You know what we need to have? We need to have like a water dispenser in our helmets. Have you seen those helmets with the AC units?
I've heard about them. Yeah.
They have like a little mini fan. It's I don't think it's used. I don't think it's that. Like
Yeah. No, I'm a man of virtue. I don't need that.
yeah, no, I don't think football helmets should have. I was just joking about the water thing. I was just
Yeah, sure you were.
no. Come on, no.
I know who you are, Jaden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I do like my water in the games, but anyways. So
Anyway.
I mean,
You guys got anything else to maybe add or?
no, good.
I got one more like last question.
Alright, cool.
Maybe not last if you guys think of other stuff, but in your 2 years of wrestling, how has it like been? How have you developed? How have you gotten better? And like what has just the experience been?
Writing down goals helps.
Writing down goals.
Writing down what you need to help on or what you need to like work on.
Yeah.
Like if you need to work on like the armbar series, that I wrote down, and then I wrote down all the possible things that I could do because I'd find myself in the bar situation. I'd only get near fall, which is like you almost pin them but you don't, and you get points from it. But writing down goals, running a lot, and not even just like running for like the physical aspect, because like like the
But
mental.
For the mental, because
Absolutely, because it's such a tough sport, and you need that mental
yeah, 'cause-
mentality
Yeah.
to pursue.
If
and be
you want
greatness.
to quit sometimes, but just then not quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, saying writing down your goals helps a lot. What are some of your strong suits you believe, and what are some things you think you could work on in wrestling?
Like the bar series, and then countering legs, like leg riding.
Mhm.
I
What
hate
what
that.
exactly is leg riding?
It's where you're in bottom, you're in referee's position, and then they try to put their legs between your legs, and then like basically expand you, and then like it sucks. It hurts. I have a scratch from it
Oh, what
actually.
the hell?
Oh damn.
Yeah, pretty suck. It sucks pretty bad.
Yeah,
So
he leg rode you.
he did.
Yeah.
I got pinned. That sucks.
Has writing goals down like really help you? Like, have you noticed anything different between this year and last year? Like, you wrote stuff down and you say you're gonna get better at this. Have you
seen improvements in those things that you've been writing down?
Absolutely.
like so you think that writing stuff down definitely helps?
Absolutely.
Because it kind of keeps track.
Yeah,
like,
because
it-
sometimes you find yourself in the middle of the season and you're like,
What do I work on?
you're still drilling, you're still doing everything coach tells you to do, but
You're doing what? Just the basic.
and there's
Yeah.
something new every day. Like I'll go in a match, and then this guy will hit a certain move, and I thought I was good at it, like at countering it, but he just destroys me in said move or whatnot.
Yeah.
So like updating your goals is huge. That's huge. Yeah.
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 Keeping like on track with them and sharpening that sword and always getting better at counters or new moves.
Well, do you have anything else? I have one more thing, but it's
You have one
it's
more thing.
it's just off topic. If it's off topic, it was about something that I talked about at the beginning of the podcast. But do you guys
I
have
mean,
anything
I
else
don't
about it?
have anything to add. You
No, I'm good.
say whatever off topic. thing
I was
you
gonna
want.
say we made a bunch of podcast episodes with our old buddy, and we're still gonna post those. I meant to say this earlier in the podcast, so I'm
Oh,
sorry
yeah.
about that.
Forgot
But I'm saying it right now, just to get it out. We're still gonna post those because that's some really good content.
Mhm.
So with some really good words of advice. So just to let
And-
you guys know,
At the time, we were all having a good time. We were
Yeah.
all practicing character, all pursuing
Yeah.
virtue.
it was
So
a good
in
time.
in that moment,
Yeah.
he was practicing what he preached.
Yeah. And it wasn't until after that he
Kind of
shot.
Yeah.
decided to take another path. But
Which,
again, we're praying for him. Hope he
Mhm.
gets out of it
Yeah.
and gets better.
hope the best.
But
Crazy how fast you can get off track. Like it takes
Yeah.
so long
It takes so long to
to
get
do great
good.
Yeah.
and be virtuous, and then you can switch
Yeah.
right, like really quick.
Yeah, that's like why wrestling with Vice is like something really important because you could be like practicing virtue your entire life and get this one temptation and boom, you're right off track and you have to restart all over again,
Absolutely.
or you
It
fall all the
sucks,
way
yeah.
down into that path.
Well, the biggest thing is you could be practicing virtue your whole life with a mentor. So we've been trained by Seabass for a long time. Like Devin's been like 9 years, 10 years, right? More, just like around there. For me, it's been like
Yeah.
7 years, but he's always been around me. Like he's always made sure I'm doing the right thing. Now we're in high school and he's never around me, and this is the actual test. This is where we really see if we're virtuous or not.
Yeah.
And
You know,
so
Just to really see
yeah. Different people make different choices and decisions, and Jaden and I have tried our hardest, and we kept with that virtuous path, and
Mhm.
it sucks to see that our buddy didn't continue, but
wish him the best, and
wish him the best and
Can't
hope
do-
that he.
we can't control him. We
at
can't
the
do
end of the
anything
day,
about it.
yeah.
he went his own path. We're gonna still stay on our path with character and virtue and hope the best
Yeah.
for him.
And
But-
we'll wait for him with open arms if he ever hits rock bottom and needs support and wants to better himself.
Mhm.
We'll be there for him.
A lot of the time, people realize when their life was good, when they're a lot older, and they go back to those old, old ways that they were practicing, or
Yeah,
when their life was actually good.
because it's like a foundation.
Hmm.
So that'll be something good that he can reflect on, hopefully,
Yeah.
Yeah,
to help him.
but I mean that's all I got. I mean I don't really have anything else for
Anything else to
this
add?
one.
Good.
So,
No,
we
and
good?
I
Oh, I
just-
feel that was a great episode.
Yeah, it was
no,
a really good episode.
And to close it, thank you for tuning in, watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on the notification bell, and go follow our Insta.
All right,
Peace
cool.
out.